Bonjour, mes amis. Je suis l'élargi canadien. Welcome back to NFL Week in Review. Week 14 has come. It has gone, and we still got a plentiful to talk about. And just is what it is, because it's football. Now we're starting to get into the playoff stages, because that is exactly what we do here on Week in Review. And for you guys that do coming on back, please do feel free to give it a like and subscribe. Trying to reach 100 subs by the end of the calendar year. So not a lot of time left, but I'm trying. I'm trying. Please just give me a chance. All right. Well, obviously, you know what we got to do before we mother flip and start. As always, you can check out Benchwarmer Brew right here, benchwarmerbrew.com. It makes a great holiday gift for the holiday season for someone that you know that likes coffee. So again, go to benchwarmerbrew.com and get yourself a bag of delectable coffee today, because you really should. Anyway, let's get this off. I fucking hate Windows. All right, but let's go week in review. We'll start with Thursday Night Football. We got the Steelers taking on the Vikings. And what everybody thought was going to be a sure Pittsburgh win before Thursday night turned into a Minnesota massacre of the Steelers. At one point during the third quarter, the Steelers were down 29-0 against the Vikings. And then Captain Fat Fuck decided to, oh, wait a minute, there's a football game to play. And just decided to fucking start getting touchdowns left, right, and goddamn center. And at one point, the Vikings got one more back to try and get the game out of reach. The Steelers really did try in this game, and Minnesota choked it. They choked it, but it all came down to the final play in the fourth quarter. Captain Fat Fuck was looking for Pratt Firmouth, and it's incomplete. The game is over. It's no one's surprised. The Steelers fucked it. Roethlisberger, though, 20 for 40, 308 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. And obviously, the shot's going to go out to my boy Najee Harris, 94 rushing yards and a touchdown of his own. Chase Claypool as well, 93 yards on 8 receptions, no touchdowns there, but he did really well, too. As for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, 14 for 31, 216 yards, 2 tutties, 2 picks. Dalvin motherfucking Cook could not be stopped this game, and I'm telling you, dude was like a fucking truck. Like he was trucking through that fucking defense. 205 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. You cannot say that man is not elite, because he sure as hell is. 36-28. The Vikings vanquished the Steelers. And now I go to a tank bowl. Saints, Jets, in what is sure to be a shit show before the game was even played. And what did I say was a shit show? For once, Taysom Hill looked like an actual quarterback in the sense of 15 for 21, 175 yards. Well, no touchdowns and no picks, he still actually managed to do something, I guess. Kamara ran for 120 yards and a touchdown. Hill himself ran for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, hey, do what you got to do for the team, right? As for the Jets, they continue to pretty much shit the bed, because that's the Jets' motto. 19 for 42, 202 passing yards, no tutties, no picks. Wilson ran for 33 yards. As well as Berrios, 6 receptions, 52 yards. But no one on the Jets is really doing anything, which is what led to the Jets' loss, 30-9 in favor of the Saints. Their first win since the game that Jameis got injured against Tampa Bay. Not a good look for your Saints. Just saying. And with that, Tampa Bay could not clinch the NFC South this week. So, better luck next week. Next up, we got the Falcons taking on the Panthers in an NFC South matchup. We know both teams absolutely fucking suck. It was just a matter of who sucked more. In this case, it was Carolina. Matt Ryan threw for 190 yards on 19 completions and a touchdown. Cordarrelle Patterson continuing to show why his deal was a steal. 58 rushing yards and a touchdown. Russell Gage, again, one of the bigger shocks over the past few weeks. 64 receiving yards this week on 4 receptions. Like, definitely don't look at Russell Gage. Look at, we didn't even know who the hell he was a couple weeks ago, and now here he is, just going the fuck off. Like, well, I don't even know what the hell's going on. As for the Panthers, the combined efforts of Cam Newton, the combined efforts of Cam Newton and PJ Walker, 21 for 35, 200 something passing yards. I'm not sure. I think it was like 230 something yards, something like that. 1 touchdown and 2 picks combined. Newton himself ran for 47 yards on a touchdown. Anderson ran for went for 84 yards on 7 receptions and a touchdown. Hubbard as well had a nice little day as well. 33 rushing yards on a touchdown for him. But the Panthers still couldn't get anything done because that's the Panthers. 29-21, the Falcons escape with the win. Panthers are now on the verge of having a losing season because of course they are. Seahawks, Texans. This is the ultimate tank bowl because both teams are not going anywhere this season. Texans last week were officially eliminated. This week, actually, I forgot something. Well, yeah, I did forget something. With the Jets lost to the Saints, that officially means that the Jets have been eliminated from the playoffs. No shocker there because the Jets suck and they'll continue to suck for the suckiest suck. But now Seahawks, Texans, in the game of sucking suck, because both teams aren't going anywhere. Russell Wilson actually had a nice, decent game now. 260 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashad Penny, 137 rushing yards. Tyler Lockett, 142 receiving yards and a touchdown for him. Penny had 2 touchdowns, by the way. Okay. Is this team starting to come back slowly? Because chances are, which I doubt it, if the Seahawks can come back and they can win out in the final 4 games of the season, the chances are they could get in as a number 7 seed. But yes, Seahawks fans, there's still hope, but I wouldn't put too much on it. Because next week, you got to deal with a good opponent. Next week, you got the Rams, so you may be screwed. Congratulations, Seattle. Your playoff hopes may be fucked. To no one's surprise. Chiefs taking on the Raiders at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And, oh, Jesus Christ, the Raiders got massacred. Oh, dear God. Okay, again, who's surprised by this game? I mean, the Chiefs have been the Raiders' kryptonite for the better part of 20-something years, if not more. The Raiders cannot beat the Chiefs. They just can't. They got lucky a couple times, but not real. But most of the time, it's just been suckitude. Derek Carr has 263 passing yards on 33 completions, a touchdown and a pick. Josh Jacobs with 24 rushing yards, and Hunter Renfrow, my fucking boy, 117 receiving yards on 13 receptions and a touchdown for him on the day. He deserves all the flack. He deserves all the hype he gets. And then just scores Patrick Mahomes, 258 passing yards on 20 completions and 2 tutties. Gore ran for 66 rushing yards on a touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire went for 2 touchdowns in this game. Tyreek Hill went for 76 receiving yards on 4 completions. And what was the game that the Oakland Raiders got massacred 48-9? And once again, we are in the middle of another Raiders collapse, and they'll probably miss the playoffs by week 17, which they'll probably be eliminated in that scenario then. I mean, if they continue down that path at least, which by all accords is likely to happen. Ravens, Browns, AFC North matchup here. And what do you know? Just when you think the Baltimore Ravens are starting to get good, the football gods decide to fuck over Lamar Jackson. And in this case, it's an ankle injury that we do not know if it'll be long-term, but do get better soon. In this place was Tyler Huntley. A combined effort of 31 for 41, 287 passing yards and a touchdown combined. Freeman ran for 64 rushing yards. Mark Andrews went for 115 receiving yards on 11 receptions and a touchdown. Bateman should not go unnoticed either. 103 receiving yards for 7 receptions, no touchdown, but he still did pretty damn good, in all things considered. Like, my question is, like, what the fuck happened to the Ravens in this game? I mean, other than Lamar Jackson, what the hell happened? And I can probably tell you in one word: injuries. Because they pretty much played with it all season. That's what's fucking them over. As for the Browns, Mayfield 22 completions for 190 passing yards, 2 tutties and a pick. Nicholas Chubby with 59 receiving yards, rushing yards, and of course DPJ Donovan Peoples-Jones 90 receiving yards on the day. And somehow, some way, the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens, the division-leading Baltimore Ravens. I mean, despite Lamar's injury, how the hell did they beat the Ravens? Plus, Tyler Huntley had a hell of a game too. Like, that's shocking enough. I blame the injuries for the Ravens' defense issues. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Football team taking on the Cowboys, and like before we get into the stats and shit of that game, can we talk about for a second the fucking sheer ass arrogance of the Cowboys? You know, I don't know what team it was that told them that the heated benches weren't working properly in Landover, Maryland, or FedEx Stadium, or whatever the fuck it's called. And basically, that prompted the Cowboys to fly in their own benches from Dallas. I said it before. I will say it again. How about them Cowboys? Yep. By the way, this is a beautiful mic. It really is. But yeah, Dak Prescott, 22 for 39, 211, a tutty and a pick. Zeke didn't do much again this week with only 45 rushing yards. CeeDee Lamb kind of fell off from last week a little bit, 61 receiving yards on 7 receptions. But again, you got to remember that Dallas nearly choked away this game because of fucking course they did. As for the football team, Mr. Taylor Heineke did leave the field with an injury of sorts in the fourth quarter, but then proceeded to pick up a pair of scissors that were on the field because of fucking course there was a pair of scissors on the field. What the fuck? So in comes Kyle Allen. The combined effort of 15 passes completed out of 34. 175 yards passing, a tutty, and a pick combined. And the last 2 stats were pretty much both from Taylor Heineke. As Kyle Allen didn't do much. Antonio Gibson only ran for 36 rushing yards. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I just got done finals. And Sims, 69 nice receiving yards for 3 receptions and a touchdown all around. Okay, football team nearly came back from this. They nearly came back with a 12-point fourth quarter, but the Cowboys held on 27-20. Final score there. Cowboys are now 9-4. They will have a winning season once again, back with Dak back under center. Jaguars Titans in a game that everybody, and I mean literally everybody, knew that the Titans were going to win, because God knows the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to do anything with their lives. Oh wait, they don't, because it's really the cons are just busy with AEW now. Trevor Lawrence actually had a nice game here, 221 passing yards, but the only thing that downplayed him this week were the 4 picks. Welcome to developmental hell, T-Law. You may as well ask for your trade now, because you are not going to go anywhere with that team. Just saying. Especially Urban Meyer. No, let's talk about this for a second. I'll get back to the rest of the stats of the Jaguars in a second, but I want to talk about this. Urban motherfucking Meyer. As if he couldn't get enough shit on him this season. Oh my Christ. Oh my Christ. The things you people do not know. Basically, this guy is a fucking idiot. Not only did he grind on a woman in a bar that was not his wife, keyword, not his wife. What's it called? There was some shit on him right here. It's like during the game against Tennessee. No, this was a game against the Rams. I'm sorry. Urban Meyer bench James Robinson pretty much during the game until Trevor Lawrence had to advocate for him to come off the bench. And then Meyer, apparently it wasn't a heated altercation with Marvin Jones, the wide receiver, because Meyer had criticized the receiving core on that team. I mean, actually, shit, have you seen that, the fucking receiving core? You know, they're not bad, but they definitely need improvement. Definitely need improvement, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And apparently, Meyer had called himself a winner and calling all his assistants losers. Because of fucking course he did, and he doesn't believe in fucking teamwork. The absolute dumbass in this guy. But yeah, back to the fucking Jaguars stats. Just jack off. Robinson obviously had 4 rushing yards only in this game. Look at, and he was their leading rusher. He had 4 yards rushing. And he carried the ball 6 times. That's it. That's it. And to make it worse, he didn't even catch anything. Because I don't think he was ever targeted. Marvin Jones, though, 70 receiving yards on 6 receptions. And as for the Titans, though, well, the Titans are going to be the Titans. 20 for 31, 191 passing yards, and no touchdowns. And no picks either. Fullering ran for 47 rushing yards and a touchdown. Tannehill himself ran for 29 and a touchdown. And Swaim for 45 receiving yards on 3 receptions. But we all know the result here. 20-0. Titans win. Jaguars, with this loss, here's your ticket to the elimination land. No one fucking didn't see this coming. Because literally the Jaguars are shit. Now fire Urban Meyer, fire the offensive coordinator, and maybe fire the defensive coordinator. Start tanking, start drafting defensive prospects, and you got yourself a good team again. Well, that's if that you can actually get people to come to your fucking city, because your city's kind of a joke right now, Jacksonville. You need to stop focusing on a fucking wrestling company, and you need to focus on fucking football. I think that's wildly more popular in the country. You know, just saying. Just saying. Then you need to get your shit done. Fuck nuts. Yeah, but before we get to this next game between the Lions and the Broncos, let's talk about something first. So, if you didn't hear already, which you probably did by now, unless you're living under a fucking rock, and your name is, well, Fred Flintstone. Former Bronco and Patriot receiver Demaryius Thomas was found dead in his home at the age of 33. He was found dead at his home during Thursday Night Football. There have been reports and rumors about it throughout the day, but it was not confirmed until his whole high school coordinator coach, Myles Garrett, not the one from Cleveland, by the way, they confirmed the news Thursday night that he had died. At that point, there was some like sort of like how he may have died, but like the most believed, and I think the confirmed result was a medical emergency that he may have had, which I believe was confirmed to be a stroke. Godspeed, dude. Like the greatest highlight that he had in his NFL career was in the 2011 AFC wildcard game against Pittsburgh. Well, the first play of overtime, which would be the only play of overtime, Tim Tebow makes the pass to Demaryius Thomas, and he goes to the house. Godspeed, dude. Godspeed. But if we could talk about a little bit of what happened during the game. Like, basically, to start the game, the Broncos only sent out 10 players on the field, leaving their X slot open, which is where Courtland was on the sideline, leaving that X slot open, which was Demaryius Thomas's position. They would take the false start penalty, and Detroit declined. And basically, it was a plan by both coaches for both teams. Really great gesture on that end. And as well as like the final play of the game, literally went for 88 yards. I think it was an 88-yard drive. And Justin Simmons, the one of the secondary members of the Broncos defense, said that for every tackle in the game, he would donate $88. I don't know why to what. I think it was something for Demaryius Thomas. I'm not sure. And the total, ironically enough, went to $5,280. I mean, I get the joke on that one, but but it was actually pretty goddamn cool to see like a weird coincidence like that happen. And then I think it was another Bronco player that came out and said that he matched it. As well, during this game, all Broncos players wore the decal on their helmet, as well as former Bronco Von Miller during the game on Monday night against Arizona, which we'll get to later on. But Goff, 24 for 39, 215 yards and a touchdown and a pick. Reynolds ran for 83 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 73 receiving yards on 8 receptions. As for the Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater, 18 for 25, 179 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. No, I'm sorry, no pick. I'm sorry. I missed something. Melvin Gordon, 111 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Noah Fant for 51 receiving yards on 4 receptions. And what was a 38-10 win for the Denver Broncos in a feel-good game, which also happened to eliminate Detroit from the playoffs. I mean, Detroit wasn't really going to go anywhere anyway, because like all their really good receivers are gone. A lot of their their good portion of their O-line got injured to fuck, including first pick Penei Sewell this past season. And fucking, what the fuck, Lions? What the fuck? But again, a feel-good game for the Broncos. But rest in peace, DT88. Godspeed, my friend. Godspeed. I'm gonna take a drink for a second. I need a drink. Right. Giants, Chargers next. And the the Giants tried to fucking win, but they derped as always. Mike Glennon obviously is not a good quarterback. And honestly, never is Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones has been serviceable for what he's been over the past few years. Like in all honesty, though, Daniel Jones has been serviceable. At least that we could say. Glennon, not so much. 17 for 36, 191 passing yards, 2 tutties, and a pick. Saquon Barkley ran for 64 yards this time. Hell, even Mike Glennon got a rushing touchdown. Yeah, let that sink in, folks. And Kyle Rudolph for 66 receiving yards on 2 receptions. I mean, if it helps, Saquon Barkley also got a receiving touchdown on 31 receiving yards. That's good. And as for the Chargers, we need to think about that Jay Herbo deep pass for Jared Guyton. That was beautiful. Like, if I've ever seen a deep ball throw that connected like that, that was beautiful. Herbert, 275 passing yards on 23 completions and 3 tutties. Austin Eckler ran for 67 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, Guyton, only 3 receptions in that game, 87 receiving yards. Palmer as well had a touchdown on 66 receiving yards on 5 completions. But we all know how this game ended. Chargers win 37-21 over the Giants. And the Giants just suck, and now they have a losing record. As no one fucking saw coming. 49ers, Bengals, and what was a surprising matchup. I mean matchup in the sense of, wow, this game actually was competitive. Because the 49ers should not have been competitive here. But guess what? They were, because logic makes no fucking sense. Jimmy G had a nice game of 296 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Wilson ran for 56 yards on 13 carries. But the big man here was George motherfucking Kittle. 151 receiving yards on 13 completions and a touchdown. He went off on this game. As for the Bengals side of the ball, Joe Burrow also went the fuck off. 348 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Mixon ran for 58 yards. The big story for them was Ty Higgins. 5 completions to him, 114 receiving yards. No touchdown, unfortunately, because both touchdown passes went to fucking Jamar Chase. Higgins, though, 22.8 yards he averaged per reception. That's incredible. Hell, it even helped the Bengals drive to put this game into overtime. They struck first with the field goal, but the Niners put the hearts in the dagger, taking the game 26-23 in overtime. The Niners are again above 500. Bills taking on the Buccaneers, and wait a minute, Tom Brady actually choked the lead? What the fuck? Yeah, I know, huh? Shocking enough. Tom Brady actually choked the lead. Who the fuck could have saw that one coming? Especially in the year 2021. Josh Allen, though, he had a brilliant game. 308 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Allen also ran for 109 rushing yards and a touchdown. So in this game, Josh Allen, if you combine his passing yardage with his rushing yardage, he had a total of 417 yards combined, which is fucking remarkable. Stephon Diggs, though, 74 receiving yards on 7 receptions. As for the Tom Brady Buccaneers, the man himself got 363 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Leonard Fournette ran for 113 yards and a touchdown. Chris Godwin went for 105 yards on 10 receptions. Mike Evans, 91 yards and a touchdown. And this game had to go to overtime. Here's it was 24-3. The Bills come back, make it 27-24. Bucks hit a field goal, tie it up, and go to overtime. And just like that, the Buccaneers win because, of course, they do. Because of fucking course they do. Now we go to Sunday night. We got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. The Crossy Posse was watching. The Crossy Posse came out in full force. 224 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks for Justin Fields. Well, actually didn't have a bad game either. 74 rushing yards for him as well. And Bird, 76 receiving yards on 2 receptions and a touchdown. Jakeem Grant had a 46-yard touchdown. But the real story is in the Packers, because that's obviously fucking is, because, of course. Aaron Rodgers, 29 for 37, 341 passing yards, 4 motherfucking touchdowns. He had as many touchdown passes as Trevor Lawrence did interceptions. Let that one sink in. Devontae Adams, 121 receiving yards on 10 receptions, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon ran for 71 yards. Aaron Jones ran for a touchdown. He had 35 rushing yards on the game. And to no one's surprise, the Green Bay Packers owned the Chicago Bears. 45-30, the final score. Chicago is insured a losing record. But to the final game of the week, Monday Night Football, Rams, Cardinals, NFC West matchup. And what do you know? This was actually a pretty fun game to watch. As I said earlier, Von Miller was wearing the number 88 patch on his helmet to commemorate the loss of his former teammate, Demaryius Thomas. Again, Godspeed, dude. We all miss you. Matt Stafford, 287 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Sonny Michel ran for 79 yards. Cooper Kupp, and I said this before and I'll say it again, is my favorite receiver on the Rams. 123 receiving yards on 13 receptions and a touchdown. Odell Beckham, 77 receiving yards on 6 receptions and a touchdown. Van Jefferson, 58 receiving yards on 2 receptions and a touchdown. As for the Cardinals, on the other hand, Kyler Murray, and all Kyler Murray, 32 for 49, 383 passing yards, and 2 picks. He also ran for 61 rushing yards, and AJ Green went for 102 receiving yards on 7 receptions. Don't get me wrong, though. This was a hell of a game to watch. It was back and forth all the way to the end. And at the end of the day, the Rams have beaten the Cardinals. The Cardinals are no longer the number 1 seed in the NFC. That now belongs to Green Bay. Yeah. So for now, the NFC playoff picture is different. But we'll look at it in a week or so and figure that out for now. But that will do it for the weekend review. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below. Comment what you guys want to see next. If you haven't done so already, subscribe and join the Logical Army. I am trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Anyways, guys, je suis là, je suis canadien. Bon nuit et au revoir.